Good morning, NIKKE's, commanders, and citizens of the Ark. I'm Commander Midwest, and welcome to the 13th and the 3.5 anniversary Week 1 edition of This Week in NIKKE. If you've seen the title, you know already that this is going to be a completely packed week here on the Ark, so I will skip the formalities. However, this event is heavily dependent on the Pretty Star side story and being caught up with chapters 45 and 46 for the complete context. So, if you haven't or are still trying to catch up with the story, like usual, timestamps for each section of the video are in the description. But with that, let's start out with part 1 of Star Anise. Following the events of chapters 45 and 46, with the third Surface Reclamation War looming, the awaited TT Star revival, as well as farewell concert, is set to begin. Now, as a morale booster, to bring the remnants of humanity together for the upcoming war. Counters awaits outside of the concert, when Avistar joins them shortly to bring them backstage instead. Backstage, Anise and Mint are having trouble calming down with their nerves, while Prika is calm and collected. We all walk in, and Anise is ecstatic to see us, as well as the others. After meeting Mint and Prika for the first time officially, we head to our seats and prepare for the show when we head back to the past. It's TT Star's first ever performance from long before we came along. The group is clearly less than satisfied with the performance, but heads back to the office with Hansen for the news. TT Star was denied more performances due to a lack of uniqueness, copying Pretty just as basically everyone else in the industry is right now. This doesn't make them feel much better, and they go and get some food. The office is just as gloomy as their reputation, but it's home for them. Hansen heads out to continue work, and the group sets off to do their own things within the building when Mint and Prika speak about how Anise is really the glue holding them together, having had chances to quit or go solo elsewhere, and the group continues to practice together, and Hansen returns to see them practicing. Hansen worked his magic and booked a week-long gig for the opening of a meat restaurant called Meat and Meat. They won't be paid, but it will help get the name out, which is more than they can ask for at this point. At the restaurant, despite a rough start, they start their performance. It seems to have went well as they eat afterwards, maybe even gaining some fans, and it's revealed that Hansen long ago helped the owner's son after a night of drinking, now paying the favor back. Though questioning why Hansen would leave Tetra in the first place, no real response. A week passes and the owner ends up booking them for another month. This time with some pay, as their business has really hit it off. A couple days later, after a mishap, they finally get their name online, but just being seen as another pretty wannabe group, same as before. With no real movement, Hansen regrettably enters the Tetra headquarters. Yo-Yo, the #1 pop star now under Tetra, informs Mustang on TT Star and who they are, Hansen's new group, but speaks herself into being put down as nothing compared to Pretty. Mustang suggesting even a bullet, just like Pretty, to maybe be half as impactful as she was. Just then the phone rings, displeased, but then intrigued, Mustang beckons the person being discussed inside, which is Hansen. After some pleasantries, or maybe less than pleasantries, and it being revealed that he left the company because of Mustang giving Pretty's body to the central government for research at the end of Pretty Star, it turns out Hansen is there to purchase a song for his group. Instead of the ridiculous sum Mustang suggested, Hansen says if he gets the song and they fail, they'll come back to Tetra, and if not, look at it as an investment towards TT Star's future. This wins Mustang over, and Yo-Yo as well, who is okay with it, as she seems interested in TT Star for some personal reasons. It is at this point that we learn, as Hansen leaves, that Hansen is in fact Mustang's son. One step forward and 2 steps back, unfortunately, as they have the song but not the program to work with it, when Yo-Yo steps in with a spare copy from Tetra. However, before she leaves, she speaks with Anise outside. It turns out that Yo-Yo is the old class president, having become a NIKKE to become a star. After a seemingly genuine apology and reasoning, though, he is not convincing Anise at all, with her lashing out just shy of physical violence. The two part ways. Back inside, they decide to use the software anyway, wanting to perform the song on their last day at Meat and Meat, the restaurant, when we come back to the present, them performing that same song, their first song together, All Eyes on Me. The song lands them on the indie charts for the first time at 98, landing 5 gig requests as well. Back at Tetra, however, Anise was right not to trust Yo-Yo's apology, as it turns out it was just to coax blackmail and hate out of her. That after carefully recording and editing would make Anise look like the aggressor, should she reveal that the president's past had been one of bullying and vitriol. Mustang does what he can to get Hansen back as well, hiring their entire staff over and overbooking TT Star with calls. The schedule is suffering, they're missing shows, the hate is rolling in online, and they're not sleeping well. Mustang's plan is working, unfortunately, and the group is overworked when a girl, seemingly a fan, soft-spoken with glasses, named Riss, walks in seemingly the answer to their prayers, keeping an old promise, as she's the girl that went out of line to speak first to Anise in Pretty Star, her first friend from school, who eventually promised to be her manager. Things seem to be going great, but something is catching Anise off guard a bit, but no worries. She has even landed a soda deal from her efforts and her love for soda, and she can't believe it. However, it was too good to be true, and Yo-Yo seemingly took an ad beneath her to get to Anise. Not knowing what to do, the group practices to pass the time as Hansen meets with Mustang. It's a simple meeting, confrontation, getting under each other's skin, even suggesting Hansen slept with the girls as being the only possible reason to stay with such a mediocre group. But the two leave with some words for Yo-Yo as well, with only Riss and Anise together at the moment. Riss finally confronts her as to why she never went and found Riss to be her manager once she started her pop star life. The reason being, she didn't want to present Riss with disappointment of a pop star that she turned out to be. Turns out it was never Anise's talent or where she was at any specific time in life, but it was always her work ethic that motivated Riss in the first place. The bookings are coming in, and despite not being able to sleep much, the group decides to go for them, needing to do all they can to take Mustang and Yo-Yo down, and things are going well, but hectic, with Anise pushing the hardest, using her abilities as a NIKKE to justify cutting corners with her health. Riss notices something though. Anise has stopped even doing basic functions like her own breathing. Riss freaks out because of this and tases Anise, thinking she was going through a mind switch. It turns out she was, but they caught it right before any damage could have happened, and Hansen is scolded as the one responsible by the doctor. Also explaining that the brain eventually perceiving oneself as not human is the main reason behind the mind switches. The brain starts to fight in order to survive and rewrite its code in her instance, and many others, to get rid of the human functions that might not be necessary physically, but still mentally. She mentions Pretty, which completely breaks Hansen, and the doctor leaves saying to treat Anise better. Tomorrow's activities are canceled, but Anise confides with Hansen that she has a recurring dream where she's alone in the dark. Wakes up, alone again, but high up now, then beginning to fall with Yo-Yo watching down at her smiling. With that, Hansen gets Anise to realize herself why he keeps by their side, as Anise wants to be for others what Pretty was for her. Someone that makes them feel like life is worth living. Yo-Yo and Tetra keep taking Anise's brand deals, and Anise decides to go see her herself when she shows up on her own again. She tries to spin the same tale as before when the TV starts playing an expose on Yo-Yo's bullying of Anise, but no one knows who fed the information to the tabloids. Yo-Yo makes it known that she's playing dirty from here on out, when Mustang calls demanding her back to the office. It turns out that this is bigger than a childhood feud, as Elysian and Missilus already identified the previous recording meant to save Yo-Yo from the situation as altered, and Mustang kicks Yo-Yo out of the room, wondering who leaked the info when he realizes. We cut to Hansen having a private meeting with Missilus and Elysian, having dug up the info themselves and leaking it because Hansen gave them a lead that could bring Mustang's image crashing down. A hint to look into his personal physician, stating that's just a piece of what comes next, and they agree. Afterwards, Hansen views the internet to see Yo-Yo being bashed and TT Star rising, to which he admits to himself, "It is a little fun seeing someone suffer," when we see Mustang grinning from ear to ear that his son is making things interesting for him. Yo-Yo ended up retiring because of this incident, refusing to answer Anise's calls, and unfortunately, that's hit TT Star as well, as the feud is effectively dead, dropping their work to a third. With Hansen out to find work, the group begins to tend to their tasks when Mustang enters the office. Using his fake accent, he says he wants to sign them, seeing them as the ones to surpass Pretty. Mint questions this as it's clear they've been being targeted by Tetra, when Mustang sends his entourage out of the room to reveal not only that he was testing them, but also that Hansen is his son. having never been close and offering him a position on the board when his mother died. The relationship only grew worse, however, and he explains that perhaps genuinely, he not only wanted him to suffer to get back as we know, but to have that relationship be one of a teacher and student. Though Tetra currently has a lot to make up for when it comes to sincerity. It also stated that all three needed to agree and that this will bring Hansen and Riss with them as well. Wanting to do right by Hansen, they agree, and when he returns, he is shown the contract, and through a mix of emotions from Anis and the group, and his own, he can't help but feel like his world is crashing down. Alone in the dark, Yo-Yo scrolls on her phone, seeing nothing but pity for TT Star and contempt for her. She is clearly at the end of her rope, claiming that she has had everything taken from her yet again. Following the maintenance on the 22nd, which led us into the anniversary update, the first thing to bring up is of course the Star Anis event. Literally the full explorable event stage, backstage, and dressing room of the Arcrean Hall, where Pretty performed all those years ago, became available. The event ground also contains some secret cameras to view the show live. This also includes our stories 1 and 2, which is locked until the second week, of course, the challenge mode against Land Eater, the daily login, a shop with an event banner, of course, an Eat-A-Bag TT Star merch gacha, where you get 5 tickets every day to design your merch bag, plus extras throughout the event. The addition of the Dorothy Idol Skin Pass, a 10-day pass. And finally, the Tracing the Stars rhythm minigame, where is a 4-button plus swipes, holds, and liftoffs, featuring a lot of the game's most memorable songs, with more to be revealed next week on top of some of the new songs from this event. With the new week starting, roughly 3 years since Anis's last appearance as the headliner in a banner, Anis's overspec titled Anis Star finally becomes playable. Anis Star is a Burst 1 electric-coated defender, representing Tetraline with her new rocket launcher Twinkle Star. The long wait was absolutely worth it, as one look at Pridwin will show you that she is currently the only character holding the title of Triple SSS tier without a treasure item. Her skill 1 passive continuously raises the burst gauge by 6% as long as she is still active on the team. If there are no other burst 1s, then at battle start, and after finishing a full burst, she will raise her own attack by 40% forever, and drop the cooldown times of her allies by 7.5 seconds. If there are other burst 1s, she will act as a second burst 1, resetting the burst phase for a second burst 1 use, and then regardless, she will deal 120% of her final attack damage as additional damage if she hits a target with full charge. Her skill 2 passive, when entering full burst, attack goes up for 35% of a caster's attack for 10 seconds if there are no burst 1s. However, a full charge attack, when there are multiple burst 1s, heals 1.26 of the caster's final max HP as HP. Full burst happens, herself and teammates with a lower final defense will have their projectile explosion damage increased by 92% for 10 seconds. And when full burst, all ally attack damage goes up by 34%. And for her burst, shooting stars attack random enemies for damage equal to 40% of the final attack for 10 seconds. When there's no burst 1s, attack goes up 35% for 10 seconds, and when there are other burst 1s, the ally's HP around her will increase for 15% of Anis's max HP for 10 seconds. There's frankly not much that really needs to be said here. There's meta, and then there's Anis. She is an instant pull of instant pulls. Do what you can to grab a copy, if at all possible. Then, of course, we have our tradition. Avastar, a similar Burst 1 electric-coated supporter this time, running a machine gun Lonely Pride, is the free unit for the event. Her skill 1 passive, when burst ends, increase Anis's attack damage for 80% of Avastar's attack, which resets when full burst ends, and she begins a 10-second 3.5% final max HP recovery to herself. Her skill 2, when she enters full burst at the cost of 20% of her current HP, she boosts Anis's projectile explosive and attack damage for 40% continuously. And finally, her burst, Stargazer, the effect which enables her skill 2. She also acts as a second burst 1, similar to Anis, resetting the cycle like Anis, and also increasing her own max HP by 26% continuously. She is very clearly heavily built around use with Anise. But also, she's free, so there's no downside to getting a copy, even if it's just for a collection. But the comparison has already been made that she is to Anise what Chime is to Crown. We already mentioned the Dorothy event pass skin, but for those who watched the live stream or the last video, we also have a few others this week. Starting with Liberalia, the Dreaming Lake skin, which offers an adorable black lace outfit for Liberalia. The guarantee is for $50, as there are 2 gacha skins this event, bringing the individual max down to 50 from 60. We also mentioned the Star Trail last video, but we will go over it quickly here. Finally, getting to the Twitter side of things, we have the full reveal of the TT Star profile of Anise, Mint, and Prika. We have the full music video of Be My Star being released on YouTube. We have the 3.5 anniversary content, promotional video commemorative event, following and reposting, of course, for rewards going until midnight, April 30th. Winners will get Idol ID cards and a sticker sheet or a TT Star cheering light stick. The first part of a series on Anise's journey as a pop star released this day as well as the All Eyes on Me stage performance revealed in full on YouTube. Thursday, April 23rd, another share event for the TT Star comeback stage, where clicking the button to post could net you even more 3.5 anniversary rewards. Ends the 29th at midnight. Next, a Blah Blah Link Easter egg hunt started, which will go until the 29th as well, to get an avatar frame and rewards. And also for breaking #1 on the bestsellers list on the App Store, we also got 10 free advanced recruit vouchers. Finally, we got the SD avatars of Anise Star. On Friday, April 24th, the start of the co-op battle against Blacksmith started, and we went until the 26th at midnight. We also got the warning for the 36th season of Solo Raid going up against the new boss, Ego Vista. A water code rapture perfect for your 3 new electric units coming up: Anise Star, Neon Vision Eye, and Avistar. Yet another giveaway event for All Eyes on Me, where you can repost to get either gift boxes or an acrylic stage set. TT Star will go until May 1st at midnight. The first comic panel during the week also went live with the White Knights Outpost Tour Episode 3, possibly the highest IQ combination in all of the arc. Crown meets Moran for the first time. Another event screenshotting your gameplay of Tracing the Stars also released, and following NIKKE could win you an anniversary box, idol card, or a light stick if you repost that. The next day, Saturday, April 25th, the release of the Anise Star ASMR video released on YouTube, along with the notice that the paid extended portion is also in production with the Anise ASMR headphones at a later date. On Sunday, April 26th, not much, just a small teaser video highlighting the new event.
Oh, congrats, say so.
On Monday, April 27th, the 500,000 follower special and the Golden Doro campaign winners were announced. Please make sure to go follow and keep up with these creators, as they did an amazing job. And in addition, a Mihara wallpaper was given out for the event with 10 standard recruit vouchers. Last thing for that day was finally the thing we've been avoiding until now. We absolutely smashed the global cheer campaign in less than a week into the event, gaining 1 million cheer sticks. Commanders around the world received in-game light stick items, the TT Star concert fan cams on YouTube, global thank you messages around the world in places like New York and South Korea, the comeback music video, commemorative stickers, commemorative illustrations, and the grand prize, a TT Star live concert taking place in London at the Tower Bridge on April 30th. To commemorate the completion, following and reposting the announcement with hashtag #GuardNikkkeStars could net you a TT Star box. For those of you who won't be able to make the event, it is also available to stream and watch afterwards on the official YouTube channel. And finally, Tuesday, April 28th, the last day of the week, we got some promotional images and videos for Neon's upcoming banner, as well as the tune-in rewards for viewing the TT Star live stream in London, and another video with Anise's story, begging the question to commanders all over the world about when did your journey with her truly begin. I apologize for the delay. Like always, I'm always apologizing for something. Such is the way it is for a new creator, but it is what it is. I'm going to continue apologizing, but hopefully I also continue to make the videos as well. But rest assured, I'm still here and working on another video right now. This event has been a dream come true for me to play through and witness, and although I'm not a dev myself, I hope that it has been the same for you all. And be sure to tune in next for the part 2 of this event, along with the conclusion with hard mode. But with that, I've been Commander Midwest. This has been a week in NIKKE, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.